Hello. It is already Wednesday and it's April.
And it's really icky
It's
out.
gross.
Yeah.
We should have lots of Mayflowers at this point.
Yes. I know when I looked at the temperature today, it said like a high of 64, and I was like, when? Like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's supposed to just keep getting warmer throughout the day. Yeah, we'll be lucky if we don't get some tornadoes somewhere.
Yeah, it's definitely
Gross.
not pleasant out here.
It is gross.
So it's not a surprise that we haven't been super busy in the store.
No, phones ring a lot.
Yes, yeah, that's kind of like the funny thing, right? Whenever it's slow in person, it is not slow on the phone.
Definitely get a lot of phone calls,
which is
cool. Great. Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
Means you guys are having fun at home.
Yes.
Or trying.
Yes, or trying. Yes. Not because, your machine is having an issue. Well, it is. It's that time of year again.
It is Serger Month.
It's Serger Month. Yes, it comes around very quickly every year.
I know. It's always like, nope. Oh, crap.
Right.
And then it's like everything all in.
Which
boom,
is
boom, boom.
Scary because how is it April already?
I don't know the answer to that. Don't know.
How did that happen?
I'm feeling very like I blinked and I lost a whole bunch of time. It's just like, boom, gone.
Crazy.
What are you going to do?
So we are going to talk a little bit about sergers today, and we got some new fabric in, the Kimberbell Star Spangled Beauty. I have a hard time with that name. Is coming up very soon. You finished up the quilting design.
The quilting designs are all done. I still need to test them just to make sure that they do what I think.
Right.
Sometimes what looks like on the computer screen is not what it looks like actually on fabric. So I gotta just double check.
This is true.
I always do this, what they call slow redraw, so it actually looks like it's being stitched, but
it still sometimes is different.
Or is the stitch not long enough, or is it too long, or is it
right?
You can't see that on the screen. It's just a line.
Just a line.
It's just a line.
It is just a line.
But yeah, we've got some options for you throughout the ladder quilt, and then some border options as well. So it'll be good.
And next month in May, we're going to be stitching out some of the designs. We'll kind of do like we did with the Easter Bunny pillow.
I'm not going to do the whole thing. We'll pick out some different things, like the scallop border, for instance. That'll be a different.
Yeah, we'll do some of the different techniques that you haven't done before. So,
or at least not very often.
Right. Because it's fun to do the more complicated ones. Let us make the mistakes live.
And then you'll be like, well, don't do that.
Don't do that. Isn't that quilt very cute behind us? I know, it's nice for a change. That is made with Kimberbell Basics, and it's a cute little snowflake design. I know it's fitting for the day, but
You're right. Yes, and we do have kits for that. So it's a pretty straightforward pattern, and like I said, we've got all of the fabrics. We've got a nice little collection of patterns.
Yeah.
That are pretty straightforward from a pattern department, but still very cute, and they all use Kimberbell Basics. So.
Yes. Holly has a good question here. So Kimberbell just sent an email on Bookish. Did you guys get that? No, and we're not getting it because it
is digital only, so it is just on the Kimberbell site. Shops will not have access to that. It was originally going to be an event, and they had some issues with supply. To be able to do the event. So they had to scrap the event because they couldn't get supplies and quantities that they needed for that. But they didn't want to scrap all of the designs. So they did some digital things, and they do actually have kits that you can purchase that's all that you can do right now. You have to get the bundle. So it's digital designs and fabric bundle.
At least that's how it was yesterday. I think that's still the thing today. Okay.
So, but that's.
I hope you used our affiliate link.
It was on their site, so it was. But anyway, they're cute. There's some coasters, and then there's a book cover.
They are very cute.
It's very, very cute. I liked the book cover especially. I don't read a lot of physical books anymore, but
maybe we can
Maybe I can wrap it around my calendar.
Yeah, we can change it a little
something,
bit. So.
Maybe make an iPad cover or something.
Yeah,
that would be cute too.
That'd be
so,
cute. Yeah.
But anyway, they're very cute. But unfortunately, it's not something that you can get from us. You will need to go to their site. But as Sarah mentioned, if you follow our affiliate link, we'll at least get a little bump from that purchase.
Yeah.
So
hopefully she followed the affiliate link.
I mean, it's in the link in my computer,
right,
so
it
should be there, but anything happens. So
yeah. So yeah, that is, it's adorable, and we're sorry that we don't actually have anything here, but definitely it's cute, and if you're a book person,
we both read, so it's definitely something. I was very excited about the event. I mean, like, super excited.
I know.
We had already set a date for it, the whole shebang, and then they're like, we're not doing that, and we're like, what? So yeah, that was a little bit of a bummer, but I mean, I get it. If you can't get supplies, you can't get supplies. There's not a whole lot that can be done about not being able to get that. So I'm glad that they didn't scrap all of it and that we never saw it, because it was super cute. So I'm glad that we'll be able to do that.
Pam,
can I do what?
Wants to know if you can talk about your trinket tray, the designs, and how they're going to get them and all that good stuff. Let me go grab I think it's still on the counter.
I believe you are correct. So I am doing that class on the 15th. It is going to be virtual only. The reason being, to make a decent sized trivet tray, you actually need to have a decent sized hoop. If you use a really small hoop, it ends up being this tiny little thing you could put like your A-ring in or something like that. So to make the bigger one, we'll be using an 8x12 or larger hoop for class. So I wanted to make sure that everybody didn't have to lug their big machines. So that is the tray. And there is this design in a couple different sizes. So I did take the original package comes with 2 different designs, and each of those designs is in a different size trinket tray.
So when I went to purchase it for someone, you could get the small or the large. It didn't come together as a package.
Okay.
So one of the questions that we had last week during class was, what design are they going to get?
They're getting it's the price point for both.
For both designs.
Yes.
That's what I assumed.
So
you would get
and they get a little bonus because I took this design and I resized it to fit in the other one so that they could do this design in either size.
And
so
will the design
it's an automatic download when you sign up for the class. You should get an email with those already in there.
Okay.
For a download.
Okay.
And then I'll have some information. Your kit has all of the materials, all of the stabilizers, the printed out stuff, all of that stuff is in the kit.
Okay. And then they'll probably end up in their OESD account at some point.
Yes, we'll have to go back in and do that afterwards. I wasn't going to do it before class.
Right.
That was going to be like, okay, we're done, and here's all of that. It'll end up with those designs in your account. Yep.
Perfect.
Yes. And as far as the tools themselves, so the kits have what are called cam snaps. So they are actual snaps. These are plastic. You do get the cam snaps in the kit. We don't have the tools here to sell. I do have one in store, which you are all welcome to, after the class, come in and apply them using our tool, or I did put the link so that you could pick up your own if you wanted to in the class description. Totally your choice. I have recently purchased a larger press that does rivets and metal snaps and something else.
Holes, grommets.
Grommets.
Yeah.
Grommets, and then it came with the hole punch themselves. The other thing that's in the listing, which we do carry here in store, is the OESD hole punch, which is what I used for this. It's not mandatory. You can make it work without, but it certainly made putting the snaps in way easier, having a hole there to put them through instead of trying to force it through fabric without a hole there to help you with that. This is actually the smaller one that I dragged it in at the machine when I realized that the sizing didn't work. So I actually did resize the large one so that it will fit in the Brother Baby Lock hoop, because I think it was made for a Bernina hoop, which the sizes are slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
And so the 8-inch field didn't fit for us. So I redid that. That was also in the download when you sign up for class, that you'll get that one. That's the one that I'm planning to teach from.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the smaller one. So it is another inch bigger using the large size.
Yep.
So
so there's technically 2 sizes of the trinket tray, and then you'll get a slightly
it's basically going to be the large size. It's like not even a quarter. It's not even a quarter-inch different, but to make it fit in the brother baby lock hoop, it needed to just be a
so
a wee bit tinier.
You'll have a third custom
size to fit to still be able to do that large one in an 8-inch hoop instead of having to bump out to even a 9-inch hoop.
Right.
So I know there are a lot of you out there that don't have the 9-inch hoop machines, and I didn't want that to be the required size. That was a little bit of a stretch. So I did, like I said, I altered that.
Yep.
Just the tiniest little smidgen.
Yeah. And one of the cool things about this particular design is this is a Spree exclusive. And one of the nice things about having the Spree exclusive is that as a dealer here who does designs on demand, we can offer that as an option where you can't buy this traditionally on the website unless you actually are a Spree
unless you're Spree.
member.
So if the Spree is basically where you get everything they come out with each month, and they have designs that are special just for those club members.
Right.
That's where this particular design came from. But like she said, because we do designs on demand, even if you're not a Spree member, you can order those through us for any of those other ones. So if you see a Spree design and you're like, I really want just that one, you could always touch base with us and we should be able to get you that from the designs on demand.
And Holly, we'll have to figure out something for you because the original design was created, the whole packet, so it's not separated from like the class and the kit. It was all inclusive. The design, the fabric, the snaps.
It's all
and
one
the class.
bundle.
It's all one bundle. So
I can resend that to you, Pam. I'm not really sure. I actually went in. Somebody else said they didn't get it. So I went in and I deleted everything, added it back in, and then it said, did you want to send to everybody that had already signed up? And I said yes, so there should have been even a second email. I have no idea what's going on, but I certainly can make sure that you get that.
Yeah, I think sometimes they get, so they get sent to like the promotional tab, and then you don't see them because our emails are they're getting like sequestered.
Yeah, they get filed in a different manner. So the resized, adjusted one, I did only put in the folder in the brother baby lock because that's why we needed it. I think the other one will fit in your Bernina hoop, so you wouldn't need my adjusted design.
So Marilyn, you're going to get them all.
You'd get them all, but you wouldn't need the slightly smaller one because it would fit in your Bernina hoop.
Exactly. So everything is all there. We just sized it a little bit more appropriately so that it would fit with all of ours. So there we go. So that is...
I'm excited. This is super cute. It was not complicated, but it did use some stabilizers that I don't normally use on a day-to-day basis. So that was kind of cool too, because I got to play with some things that I don't always play with.
Yes. So there we go.
Absolutely. Thanks for the questions. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have some of these cute fabrics. We might as well show this before we start talking about sergers. So
might as well.
This
I love that.
We just picked a couple of them.
Yeah, there's a whole slew of them.
There's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 21, 2, 3, 24 fabrics
24
total.
different bowls. And we only have 4 of them sitting over here. They're just some different ones. There's some different flowers. There's some different
big
plaids.
Floral. There's a couple different colorways.
Kind of like the quilted type things. These are bows. I don't know if you guys can tell that from where you're at. Really like this. There's a couple different color options of this. They're like a navy blue and then a red. As well as the teal.
And it's kind of, it's like a slightly off-white, like a natural white, and then it's got like the outline of like the big flowers, but not colored in.
Not colored in, and there's bows in there as well.
Yep, and then this is adorable. I absolutely
really like
love
that.
this.
Yes.
This is like a cheater print. with all of the different
Fabrics.
fabrics in there. So the different fabrics, you know, they're all
Make up the different stars.
made up the different stars. So yeah, these were, and there's some plaids and some tiny prints. These are all part of that Star Spangled Beauty fabric line.
And then, of course, they will all be parts of the kits. So the Star Spangled Beauty is a new ladder quilt, and it is absolutely darling.
It is darling.
I mean, I like Americana things, but this is super, super cute.
Yeah.
They did a really nice job with it. I liked the Halloween one. I like this one even better.
Yeah, it's really cute.
It's just
so
got
cute.
a lot of little bits of different, which make my day.
Right,
So.
right. And it doesn't, it's like, it's patriotic, which means it kind of could stay up for, like, if that's your theme, it could stay up all the time, but it could be like all summer long.
Right.
So Memorial Day through Labor Day, you know.
Yeah,
so it doesn't
absolutely.
really say one or the other. But yeah, they are, Pam is asking, are those Kimberbell fabrics? They are the new Kimberbell fabrics. They were delivered just a hot minute
ago. So they will be cut into the kits that we will have for that, and then there will be yardage left over from after the kits as well.
As soon as we finish cutting the Star Spangled Beauty kits, the rest will go up online.
It'll go on the floor and online that can be purchased individually if there's just a print that you would like.
Yep, absolutely. So we're super excited about that. So the designs and the embellishment kits should be coming in about a week or so.
I think they're going to ship, I think they said the 6th or something like that.
Yep.
So it'll be a few days after that when we get them, but we do get them early because we're on the auto ship. So mass release will be yet another week after that. And then once that is all there and the kits are set, then our pre-order will go away. And why does that matter? Because if you pre-order, you get the quilting files for free.
Plus you get 10% off.
Plus you get 10% off it versus just buying the designs or just buying something. So when you bundle it, you get the discount for the bundle itself, plus you get the free designs for
the quilt,
for the quilting aspects of them.
So cute.
I think we found some good things this time.
Yes.
So
yes, you did a great job. Okay.
So,
shall we start talking about Sergers?
I think we should. So welcome to Serger Month.
Welcome to Serger Month.
Just hear them going,
are the new jar toppers available? I think they're up for sale, but they are not up.
They are still a pre-order.
Yeah, they're not due in yet. All right. So,
looks good.
There we go.
Ding, 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 ding.
So, we are going to start at the top, and then we're going to just kind of work our way down. Yes. This is the Triumph, and
they did such a good job building this machine.
They did. It is just so great. We both own these, and they are a joy to stitch on. And Joy and Serger are not always
paired together, are they? They don't
Mm-mm.
generally go together.
No.
But that is definitely one of the advantages of sewing on a baby lock air-threaded serger.
Yes.
The stress factor drops
So much.
million time fold that you don't have all of the fussing that needs to be done. So it's definitely worth its weight in gold for sure. They are so cool. They redid the Triumph 5.
No, more than that. So
really?
Yeah, because the Triumph was here when I started.
When you started, okay.
So
I was thinking it was just after you started.
No, it's got to be about 8 years.
Okay. I was thinking it was after. Okay. So what they did is basically, if you have seen the Ovation, or maybe you have the Ovation, I had an Ovation. I don't anymore. It basically upgraded that. And unfortunately, that's not an upgrade that you can install with the USB. It's physical changes to the machine. So it is a separate machine. And there are some phenomenal features that they added that just make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, and they're just little tweaks.
They really are.
They moved the lift from like the bed of the machine to the right-hand side of the machine by like the hand wheel. and they gave you air threading for the needles.
As we already had it for the looper, so they added it for your needles, and that's all 5 needle options.
Yes, which is really, really nice. And then they made some changes in like the tension portion of the back of the machine, but we can change that on Ovations.
Yeah, that's just a little metal piece that's on the back you can unscrew and put the new one on. So if you want that little upgrade, if you've ever threaded for your cover hem on an Ovation and you fight with getting it snapped in the back, they revamped that, and it is, you can do it almost blindfolded now. It's just so easy and quick. So if you are an Ovation owner and have no intention of going from the Ovation to the Triumph, I would highly recommend. I did that.
Yeah.
Even while I was still using the Ovation,
Yep.
I upgraded that little piece. It is so much easier, and it's very inexpensive. It's not much, but it definitely makes life easier for sure.
Exactly.
So they upgraded that. The hand wheel lift side for the presser foot itself. It's right next to the hand wheel. And then the air threading. The other thing that they have is the safety feature that you cannot sew if the foot is up.
Right.
Which, I'm not going to lie, that was the reason that I switched machines.
Yeah, it's funny. You wouldn't think that would be super, like, you'd think that would be really obvious. But serger feet are really long. And so what happens, especially when you have a lot of bulk underneath
I was just going to say, and I tend to sew with lots of stuff underneath the
so
foot, so it looks like the foot was down.
Exactly. And so then you just sewed your whole seam, and you look at it and you're like, oh, it doesn't look good. And then you think, well, how can that be? Because this is a baby lock, and they always sew perfect.
Right.
And so
you get this junk coming out the back, and you're like,
what? And
so then you realize, oh crap, it was my fault.
Yeah, because it didn't have any tension on anything.
I didn't put the foot down.
Didn't put the foot down, yeah. So that is one of those things. Now, ironically, we actually have 2 Ovations in the store for a really great price. So if you're looking for a top-end model machine, but the price of the Triumph is a little bit out of your price point, then you can check those out. And we are running a sale on our used machines currently.
Yeah.
And if you look on our website, there is a previously loved section. And as soon as you put that machine in your cart, it doesn't mean that you're checking out, but the reduced price will show up in the cart, so you can see what the current selling prices are. But we have 2 things going on with this. We have 10% off of the machine, and we have a bundle valued at $500 available with this. And so this is kind of like a collection of maybe the more popular types of feet that are available for the serger. So we have the inspiration guide, which is like a manual written by someone who uses it.
It's a manual plus.
Yes.
It's actually, it gives you some ideas and obviously inspiration towards different things. You're like, I didn't know I could do that on my serger. And then you can read how to do that. And it even gives you, each page and each technique gives you the exact machine setup instructions.
Exactly.
So you don't have to bounce around, okay, well, how do I thread for this? And it's literally all right there. And it's really got so many different things. It's not just the standard stitches. It doesn't say this is how you stitch this stitch. It's this is how you could use this stitch.
Yep.
And there's varying ways that you can use different stitches.
Exactly.
So it is a really great book. They did a very, very good job. And like you said, it's written by someone who's actually doing these things versus the engineer that built the machine.
Right. It's how I wish manuals for
everything
for things, that were written. Like I don't really need like the technical definition of what the stitch is. I need the practical use of the stitch.
Exactly.
And so that's what the inspiration guides have, the practical use of the information.
Yes, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing, and that does come with that book.
Yep. And there is a 6-foot kit, and that has a blind hem foot, a beading foot, a 5mm cording foot, a lace foot, an elastic foot, and a ruffling foot.
Which those are kind of like the most purchased ones they made a kit out of.
Yes. And so the most for this is kind of geared towards clothing makers, just FYI.
It does tend to, yes. So, if that's a direction that I want to make more clothes, these are things that are going to make that easier.
Yeah.
We always get the question, well, what do I need to go home and make this work.
It depends on what you're going to use your serger for.
It does. But, you know, the bottom line is you don't absolutely have to buy anything because the standard foot does just
All
about
of the
everything.
stitches, yeah.
It's just all of these things are going to make whatever that happens to be the beading foot. So adding in, it doesn't even have to be beads, but you can put something else through that little carrier as well. But it gives that a place instead of you having to hold it while you're sewing and all of the crazy. It gives it a good guide to hold all of those different pieces in position. So it's just a very well done from that perspective, and all of the different feet. These 6 plus other things are going to make that particular type of thing just so much easier and go so much more fluid.
Exactly. And then we have a belt loop binder, and we have a double fold bias binder. And then the year before, they came out with this new overlock table, which is really fantastic. It kind of gives you the ability to do cover hemming and overlocking on the same table.
And the screws to attach all of your fun feet.
Exactly, which we couldn't do before. And if you've never touched a serger, this is probably like, we might as well be speaking Chinese with you.
Konnichiwa.
But we will demonstrate that.
Chinese or Japanese? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Like in the coming weeks, we're actually going to have the sergers out, and we're going to demonstrate the different parts and pieces. So that will make a
little bit more sense.
And then the fabric guide is just a ruler, essentially, that it gets attached to help.
And if you are doing hemming of jeans or even knit pants, whatever, it doesn't matter, but hemming of any sort, could be your shirts even, it doesn't matter, something like that, that fabric guide is a godsend, and it is so easy to use.
Yes.
It's a wonderful, wonderful tool.
The special price for this is $44.99. This is definitely the lowest that this has been in a really long time. So that is the sale price, the $44.99. So that's where we are at with that bundle. Then we have the Baby Lock Accolade, and
this is a small version of the Triumph.
Yes.
So the Triumph is an 8 thread, which means it has cover lock.
Yeah.
Just gonna blend them. What do you call the design center? It has cover hem and overlock. This does as well.
Exactly.
So all of those stitches are able to be done on both machines, but there are some obviously differences between those machines.
Yes, absolutely. And this comes with a nice little bundle. It has the 6 feet kit, some thread, and then the inspiration guide. If this is more your price point that you're comfortable spending, you definitely want to look at that Ovation because it's a little less expensive and you will get that extra space.
Yes.
The Accolade does not have air threading for the threaders.
Right. So you're not losing that going into the Ovation.
Right. And it doesn't have the safety feature either.
So you're not losing that either. So if this price point is kind of your sweet spot, if you will, we have that option right now of those previously loved Ovations, which will do all of the things that are in this machine, but get you a little bit bigger machine that has a throat space that you can do more with.
Exactly, a little more bang for your buck.
Yep.
Obviously, we can get you an Accolade. That's not a problem.
Absolutely.
But, you know, we're all about making sure that you spend your bucks wisely. So the other one is more bang for your buck, bigger bang for your buck.
Bigger bang for the same buck.
Literally a bigger bang.
Bigger bang.
Bigger.
It is absolutely bigger. I have to say, I just love this machine.
It is so
fun.
Yeah, this is one of those things. It's really hard to say when, like, we talk about like fun and serger all in the same time. This is a specialty machine, though, so it definitely has its place in the garment or home deck world, and it is kind of like a double cover hem. And cover hem is, if you have like a t-shirt on and you look at the bottom part of your hem of your machine, you've got like the 2 threads going, and then you flip it up and you have that stitch. That
almost looks like a zigzag on the
like
back.
Yeah, exactly. That's your cover hem. Or if you have like some athletic wear, it's really popular to see that athletic wear stitch
actually on the outside.
On the outside, yeah. And so before we had this version, the only way to get that was to basically either
Sew it
stitch
twice.
So yeah, or sew upside down, or
Yep.
or try to come up with some way of making that work. Where now we have this applaud, and it kind of sneaks right in there, and it gives you the ability to do that. So you can do that type of stitch, plus you can play with all kinds of ribbons and decorative threads, yarns, things like that, to really create some fun things. Hayden has made some really cool things in the store.
Some nice stockings, and he did a placemat the other day. So he's been doing things specifically on the applaud to see kind of how you could use them for a little bit more average everyday things, you know. So I know you guys can see us over there on the side. This little bag was made totally on the applaud. And look, now we're big. So it's completely lined. It's got a little flap. We made the strap, all of those things. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but the stripes are all different stitches. So each of these were done. We got lucky because basically we just stood up and went to the next applaud, and it was threaded with fancy thread, and we didn't have to rethread or anything. We just stood up and went and did some more stitching. So it was a really fun way to see the different things that it can do. So there's chain stitching, there's, you know, narrow, there's wide. You can do all of the different cover hem stitches, but you have these swipers on the top of the fabric that give you the ability to add even more decorative things into your stitch.
Yep. And it is one of those things that they can be like engaged or disengaged.
Right. So you don't have to use them.
Right.
You can use it as a standard cover hem.
Right. Or you can use it as a chain stitch machine. So like what chain stitch can do for you is think about having an endless bobbin. So it is a straight stitch, and your bobbin is a giant spool of thread. And so it's really cool. You can do a lot of like piecing and quilting and doing different things using a machine like this. It's kind of like having a straight stitch only machine that has variations. So that's really fun to do. And with the fabric guides and things like that, you can get your perfect seam allowance.
Absolutely. And you know, we always hear that, you know, can we get a bigger bobbin? This is how.
This is how you get a bigger bobbin.
This is how you do that.
Exactly.
So, absolutely.
And so this has a 10-piece foot kit with the bundle, which is kind of some of the same feet that you could get with the Triumph: a belt loop binder, a clear foot, a bias binder, actually 3 different bias binders, a hemming guide, and some hemmers. So these are just feet that you would use for finishing your garment, because traditionally a cover hem machine is something that you use for finishing the garment, not the construction part.
Not the construction in general.
And let's see, what do we have next? Oh, we have the Baby Lock Euphoria.
So we've been talking about cover hem and that stitch that you would find at the base of your t-shirt or in athletic wear, that kind of thing.
Yep.
This is the cover hem machine.
Yep.
That's what this does. So rather than an 8-thread machine that has both, this is the standalone cover hem.
Exactly.
And they refreshed this and put it on the same frame as the Triumph. So we actually have throat space so we can play.
Yeah.
Which the previous cover hem had no throat. So it was edging, and that was all you could do on that.
Yeah.
So this has definitely opened a lot more doors for us. The needle threader on the machine works very, very smoothly. And we've got the air threading and the loopers. So it's a really, really well done machine.
Yep.
And it's big enough to actually handle a range of things instead of just being able to do those edge hems and things like that.
Yeah, so it's just a really fantastic, if you are a garment sewer or maybe doing some home dec or things like that, this is one of those nice machines that it's really great to add to your arsenal. And it is on sale for $15.99, and we have some
threads in different color schemes that are going to go along
some gray
with
and
you.
some white thread.
Which, when you're hemming, neutrals are generally the way that you go with
exactly.
most of the time.
Most of the time. Yep. So, all right, now let me add this one. There we go.
Look at you. I feel like of late, this has been one of our more popular machine choices.
Yep.
Part of that is because I think this is Hayden's favorite.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's funny because the Acclaim was the, when the machine models changed, I took an Acclaim home to play around with it when I was going to teach a serger class, because I figured I probably should have some clue of what I was doing before I taught the class, right?
Maybe.
I didn't
not
come from Baby Lock, so
not a bad plan, right?
I took this machine home and I played around with it for an entire weekend. And at the end of the weekend, Dave and I had a conversation. He's like, you didn't like say any bad words about this at all. I'm like, I know. He's like, you should get it. I'm like, I really think I'm going to get it. And then I came in and promptly ordered the Triumph.
Yep, that happened.
Because I was like,
the
go
Triumph
big or go
has
home.
everything that is in this machine, plus that whole Euphoria cover hem, all rolled into one. So if you love this machine,
yep,
it's a given you're going to love the Triumph as well.
Exactly.
So that, and like you mentioned, the price point right now, you cannot beat the price plus with the bundle, and it's certainly a great way to go.
Yeah.
But the Acclaim is it is very, very well done. So that air threading in the needles that they added in the Triumph, they added that to this machine as well. So if you struggle with threading, this is a no-brainer because your loopers are air, which they're air on most of our sergers. And then they added those needle threaders as well.
And they moved the foot lever to the right-hand side in the same spot that the Triumph is. And then they gave us that security feature that you can't
sew with the foot up.
And sometimes we, if you're a garment sewer, you don't get to do all of one stitch and then move on to the next. A lot of times you're bouncing back and forth. So at the store here, we've always said like the dream team of machines together that give you like the most amount of stitches, and really for the best bang for your buck is an Acclaim and the Euphoria
together.
And
if you have the space.
If you have the space to have two machines, because then you can bounce back and forth between those different things, which would really up your game as a garment sewer and give you the best of both worlds time-wise.
Oh, absolutely.
You wouldn't be...
It's not that the threading is hard.
No.
But you have to stop whatever you were doing, change to the different thread set, and then stitch that, and then stop what that was and go back to the other, because there is no such thing as let's serge everything and then let's overlock everything. It doesn't work that way. That's not how patterns, you're constructing something and then you add that to something else and then you construct some more and then you're going back and forth, and it's definitely a thing. So that is a phenomenal combo if that is an option. It's kind of like the Triumph and the Accolade are your sewing and embroidery combo in the serger world.
Yeah.
But if you have space in your sewing area for two machines, you can have something that's embroidering and then you have the sewing machine separate.
Exactly.
The same concept.
It is. And the nice thing about those two machines together is that like the presser foot lifter is in the same spot, which is you wouldn't think that would be a big deal, but when you have one that's like in the back of the machine,
our
and you've
muscle
got
memory is a thing.
It is. You're constantly like, where is it? And we know all about that because at the shop here, we're always like,
we sit down in front of a machine and we're like, this is not, I haven't been sewing on this one for a while. Where is this at? Where's that at? And, when everything is consistent from one to the next, it definitely makes life easier.
It does,
for sure.
It helps the brain.
So we do have a nice bundle on here. You're going to get that inspiration guide and that 6-foot kit. The 6-foot kit are the same 6 feet.
Yep.
They are slightly different sizing. So if you are going from a 4-thread to an 8-thread machine, the feet are not interchangeable.
Correct.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yes. They are similar, but not the same.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then we have the Victory. So the Victory in our serger lineup is the first one in the lineup that gives you auto tension and air threading.
Yep.
So, and that's what you want in a serger. You want auto tension and air threading because this is like the microwave.
That is the stress drop with those two things. The next step down does have air threading, but if you have to mess with tensions, you're still fussing with your stitch.
Yeah.
Where once you get into that auto feature, you sit down and you sew. I mean, you do what the little card tells you to do, and you sew, and it's perfect every time.
Yep.
There is no fussing with the stitches, and it is such a joy to do. You don't have to be a guru to be able to run these. And it's funny because people think, well, I'm just going to get the least expensive one because that'll be the easiest one. It actually is not the case. Those entry level ones are actually much harder to work because they don't have all of those little things that make your life easy.
Yep. It's like that on a lot of our sewing machines. The least expensive machine is not the easiest to work.
No.
You definitely get more, it gets easier to
perks.
use as you go up. Yeah. I remember thinking one time it was kind of like the difference between a stick shift and an automatic transmission, The stick shift was definitely less expensive, but it definitely wasn't easier to
Especially
drive.
on a hill, dang it.
No.
Let's not go there, right? I do not miss that at all. No.
So
I can drive a stick, but I don't want to.
Yeah, my car, there was a hill on my way to school, and I really hated that one. I never rolled back into anybody, but I was always
terrified
so scared.
you were going to.
So I would slow way down if that light was red, so that
you could just keep creeping forward instead of actually having to stop. I don't know what you're talking about. It was one of those things you were always looking in your rear view mirror thinking, don't get that close to me.
Right.
Don't get that close.
I don't know what'll happen.
It's your bumper, dude. But yeah, so the Victory is a phenomenal machine. And with that little bit of discount in price, it's the best price that we have, I think, ever seen on this machine.
Yeah.
And there is a nice little bundle. You get some thread along with that inspiration guide, which we talked about earlier. It's the same type of inspiration guide. It's going to have different things than the Triumphs because they have different stitches that are available, but it's the same concept behind it.
Yep, absolutely.
So sorry, pardon me.
And then we have the Baby Lock Celebrate, and it is on sale for $899. And the Celebrate does not have an inspiration guide.
It does not.
So you're on your own. No, I'm kidding. Good luck. No.
Hit the road. Sorry.
Air threading, but you do still have those tension discs and tension dials in this instance. And really, the only thing I always tell people is that while I absolutely love air threading, I can teach people to thread a serger 1,000,000 times faster than I can explain tensions.
Well, yeah, there's only so many stitches that you can do, but you interject a different fabric, and that's one of the things that's wonderful about a serger is that you can do so many different fabrics and you don't have the limitations that you sometimes do on a sewing machine. But the same stitch on cottons is nowhere near the same stitch on wools and denims, and you can't just throw a different fabric underneath and think everything's going to work the same. You have to start over again and get all the tensions right.
Yep.
Where once you get into that auto, you can go from cotton to blue jean to minky to organza. It doesn't matter. And you just keep sewing. Unless you need to change your thread color, you don't have to do anything. You just keep sewing. Just keep swimming.
Yep.
Just keep swimming.
Yep.
Good old Dory.
Good old Dory. Yeah.
It literally is that straightforward. So this is a beautiful machine. It puts out a beautiful stitch once you get your tensions where they need to go. It does have air threading in the loopers, which is a huge benefit for sure. But if you have that extra, in this case, $450 or something like that to get you into that Victory, life is going to be a lot different and a lot easier as well. So.
And then we have the Baby Lock Vibrant. This is our entry-level Baby Lock serger. And if you are looking for an entry-level serger,
this is the one we would recommend.
This is definitely the one that we recommend. It's sturdy. You cannot say that about a lot of sergers under $500. You pick up that serger and it is light. And if it is light, then what that means is that as you are serging, that thing is going to be bouncing all over the place, and it is going to be
Imagine what your stitch looks like if the machine's moving.
Yeah, it's going to be easy to put a machine like that at a time.
Yep.
And we service a lot of low-end sergers here.
And it's usually out of time.
It's usually out of time. We rarely get vibrance back in just for a general service, not because people are having an issue with it. It just doesn't come back. And this was like the Lauren before, and
that sounds right.
I think it was something else before that. So they've had a version of this for,
and they've done some small updates here and
Yep.
there. It's not just the outside cover,
Right.
but the gists of them are pretty much the same. When you open the door on this, you see a thread path, and it's, as far as threading a serger goes, it's pretty straightforward and simple. But you still have to manually put the thread into the looper positions.
Yep.
And if a thread breaks,
you got to erase out everything.
you gotta take everything out and start over again, which that auto tension serger gives you a break on as well.
Yeah. Also with this style machine, that is so different than the rest of the baby locks. If you want to do like a rolled hem or something like that, you actually have to kind of take the part of the machine apart and interchange some pieces. On all of the air threading ones, it's literally just the flip of a dial.
It's actually welded to the machine, so you just slide it out of the way.
Yep.
And so the stitches are actually better because that is a welded in piece instead of a piece that can do one of these as it is being sewn on. So
yes,
for sure.
And last but not least, we get asked this question a lot. You can purchase the Baby Lock Love of Sewing, and we do have some special pricing on these. And for the Triumph, the Accolade, the Acclaim, the Victory, and the Applaud, you can purchase a 4-year extended warranty. And normally that is $18.99. We have it on sale for $599. So for $600, you can get a warranty. That warranty will cover cleanings, which is not something that is normally covered under a traditional warranty.
And a cleaning for a serger can be
a couple $100.
So that's definitely a huge advantage for that, for sure.
Yes. And if you are the type of person who travels, we have a ton of snowbirds, they're here and then they go to Florida and things like this. This, unlike any other warranty, is actually, it comes basically with your machine. So you get kind of like an insurance card for it, and then you can take it to another authorized dealer and give them your insurance card, and it will be covered.
Yes. Where in general, it has to be at the dealer that you've purchased from.
Exactly.
This is your get out of jail free card. You can go anywhere.
Yes.
As long as they're Baby Lock authorized service center.
Exactly. And then for the Celebrate, the Euphoria, and the Vibrant, there is a 2-year plan that you can get, and that is normally $300 and is on sale for $199.
So it is a great thing. Not only does the Love of Sewing give you that warranty aspect and the cleaning aspects, which is huge, you also get video access.
So many videos.
So many videos. And especially if you've never serged before, it is very nice to be able to pop on there and see some different things for inspiration, to make you comfortable. Maybe it's, after we closed, or it's the weekend and we just weren't open anyway, or whatever. You have somewhere you can go for help and guidance and different things there.
So many videos.
And it's not just serger videos. So you
many.
can go there and watch anything that you want. And there's, 4,000 plus?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many videos.
Yeah.
And you have access to the whole shebang.
Right.
For that length of time of your Love of Sewing.
Yeah, and if you are also a Brother customer and you have purchased maybe a Brother sewing machine, there is usually a Baby Lock equivalent that would also have those videos on that machine as well. So you can learn a lot about your regular sewing machine by watching those videos as well. So you get so many different things. They also have some project stuff, and
they have software. So maybe you're into software.
Exactly.
Same kinds of things. Your palette software is the equivalent of the PE design software. So all of those things are there, and you have some great access to some fantastic information.
Yep. Probably less expensive than Netflix for 4 years.
Yeah, for sure. It's gotten a little crazy, has it not?
It has. It
So
has.
the love of sewing is not a mandatory thing.
No.
You have a warranty on your machines.
Yep.
That is the standalone comes with the machine. This just extends that, and it gives you that bumper to bumper plus cleaning.
Yeah.
So it's a really nice advantage. Plus you get that education aspect as well.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many things that you can do with a serger. People sometimes buy them because, you know, I need a hem and I need to do rolled hems because I want to make napkins for everybody every Christmas or whatever it happens to. It doesn't matter what the reason is, but there are just so many other things that you might not realize you can do with your serger.
Yeah.
You know, so we have done projects in the past during our Sip and Surge program. So this was one of our older things. We've got ruching, we have cover hem, quilting stitches, we've got flat lock stitches, piping, and what else do I have?
Ruffles, rolled hems,
and what is this?
piping.
What's that foot?
Oh, pin tucking.
Pin tuck, that's where I couldn't think of that word to save my life. So this is just a sample of some multiple different types of stitches that you could use. This is the front of a bench pillow. Because it's a sample, I never finished it, so it lays nice and flat instead of having to store it in a pillow and whatnot with that. But there are so many different things that can be done, and a lot of times we don't realize that. So we do have some samples here in store. This Saturday, do you have something on that? Or are we just going to talk?
Well, just so I didn't even think about doing that.
I didn't want to say something if it was going to be on
No, I don't have a special one for this.
So this Saturday, Baby Lock is actually doing a virtual show. Central Time is 12, so it's going to start at 1 o'clock here. You can watch that at home. You can watch that here with other friends.
Yes.
And us. So, so you can come in store. We're actually going to start the party at about 11.
We're going to start sipping around 11.
Yeah, water's so good. Maybe some Mountain Dew. You just never know what we're going to go for.
Yeah, we'll have some snacks.
But we will have some fingery light snacks, and then we'll have some bottled water. And sorry, I don't have a license, so we can't go much past that. But
there is a party store.
There is a party store, and you can bring a
your
cup,
own.
and I won't know what's in it.
That's right.
I just can't serve it to you.
That's right.
But we have a very large screen TV here in the room that we're going to put the show on when it starts. We will have sergers set out that are already set up and threaded so that you can sit down and see how the different stitches work. And we'll have sample fabrics there. We're not going to be doing a project. It's not like you have to do this and, you know, you have to jump from one machine to the next. And if you feel like you got behind, or it's not going to be that at all. It's going to be just a chill day where you can play with what you want to play with. You can see some things in action, and you can watch that and hang out with some friends.
Ask some questions.
Yep.
We have Hayden has been doing some really cute samples, and he's our garment sewer here. So he uses the sergers for their traditional use of garment construction. And, you know, I don't sew clothes. So I use my serger for things like home decky, quilty, things like that. But
and I use it for hemming for the most part.
Yeah, so it's good to have his experience and perspective
in a different take on that. And so he has agreed, and he doesn't generally get up in front of people. I mean, like a group of people. He'll do one-on-ones great, and he doesn't generally agree to get up in front of a group. And he has agreed to come and talk to everybody about those kinds of things this Saturday. So that'll be a nice option, because we don't generally have that experience at the front of the classroom. So that'll be a really fun thing too. I'm totally throwing him under the bus.
So you don't need to register. You can just come on in. We're going to start the party at about 11. The video presentation will start about 1 o'clock. I know they're going to do a bunch of different things with some breaks and things like that in there. So there'll be plenty of time. Bring some paper and pencil if you want to like jot down questions about something that's going on that we can maybe chit chat further about.
So if the 11 to 1 is just going to be an open floor. You can play, you can ask questions, but there's not a schedule for anything between that time frame. So if your main thing is you just want to watch with friends, then come after lunch, because it'd be a long time to stare at a wall.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any great TV show going on between 11 and 1. So I mean, we could maybe find a movie.
We could play last year's Dip and Surge video.
Oh, God, please. Oh, Lord.
Oh.
But yeah, so that's this Saturday. If you know you're coming, the original link that we sent out was the actual Baby Lock sign up link, and you can't sign up on that anymore. They finished that this weekend, so you can't sign up there. If you're trying, that's why that part has been closed, but you can still come. If you know you're coming, shoot us an email so that we can add you to the list. And then if something happens, we will be sending out that link as well in the email, right?
Yeah, sure.
Sounds good? Okay, let's do that. And that way that if for some reason you can't come, but you were planning on it, you have the link to watch it at home if you, for whatever reason, can't do that.
And then Friday, we have an OESD event. Dime OESD.
Dime by OESD.
Yes.
That's their new logo. It says Dime by OESD.
Yeah. They're going to be doing the software quilting.
Yes.
And,
and I have to say, I have used multiple different things. I love their quilting software. So it is start to finish quilting.
Yep.
And we have run this before, but it's a great recap. Maybe you bought the software last time and you want a little bit more like, how do I do that again?
Yeah,
I don't remember. I bought it, but now I don't know how to use it. It's a great learning aspect, and it's only an hour, which is great. And that is this Friday.
Yep.
The 4th.
Yep. And we'll send an email out Friday morning, which will have the live link that you can actually watch
Just click it, and it'll be the
And it will
show.
be available all weekend to rewatch. It will go away Monday morning.
That is correct. So, and our favorite, Ashley will be doing the presentation. She is so knowledgeable with all of those goody things that are in there. So I always learn something. And I mean, I use the software, I wouldn't say daily, but weekly. I'm definitely in there, and I learn something new all of the time.
Yeah,
so,
Ashley is fantastic. We love her.
She is absolutely wonderful. So that's what we have for you.
Yes.
Happy Serger Month to everybody. We would love to see as many of you that we will bring as many chairs in as we need. So please come on in on Saturday. We'd love to have a big party in here.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. And that's what's going on.
That's it.
So next week we haven't decided which one yet, but we're going to showcase a serger and talk about the threading and some different things that you could do with that serger.
Yep.
Awesome. We'll see you guys then. Bye.